Oh,
From a little cover, I got my dreams inside. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roof to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my forest crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
welcome, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thoughts. And my thought for today is February has came and has blessed me with chances to talk to different promoters around the world, and it's been so much fun so far, and I know that we're definitely going to continue with that energy today. My guest is the owner of Carolina Main Event Wrestling, Octavia. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing well. I'm doing well on this beautiful, wonderful day. Um, the snow and the ice is cleared off, so it's like a very sunny day. And I'm blessed to be here, and I'm blessed to be on your platform, so I can um, tell you the story of CMW Carolina Main Event Wrestling.
Before we dive into it, I want to let everybody know, as you see in the right-hand top corner, that is Carolina Main Event logo. So you won't be confused. If you, after you go look them up, you know which one you're looking for. And also with the QR code, all you have to do is scan that QR code, and it would take you to their YouTube page so you can check out some of the great action. With that being said, sir, how did you become a wrestling fan?
Oh man, I became a wrestling fan when I was a little kid, about around 7 or 8 years old, maybe a little bit older. Um, Me and my brother used to sneak to the living room on school nights during the Monday Night Wars, so WCW against WWE, and we used to watch wrestling with my uncle. I was curious, like what my uncle be watching every Monday night at around 8 o'clock. So that's how we got introduced to wrestling, and ever since then, we've been amazed. And then, like any kid watching wrestling back then, we wanted to replicate the wrestlers, be like them. Like me, I always wanted to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. My brother tried to be The Rock, and we wrestling every single day, trying to beat each other up and making sure every Monday night we catching WCW and Monday Night Raw. even though we had to go to bed at 9 o'clock. But we still managed to sneak in the living room, try to watch the full show. And then here come my grandma coming through the living room, talking about like, y'all need to get your happy butts in the bed so y'all can go to school tomorrow. So, but yeah, that's how we became, especially me, became a wrestling fan by having the moments watching wrestling with my uncle, and then I've been loving it ever since.
That's awesome. So, how did you make uh the trans how did you make the journey from being just a fan to actually becoming a wrestler?
Oh man, that's a funny story. So first and foremost, I never imagined me becoming a wrestler or even being an owner of or creating a promotion. So this is the funny story. So of course, as kids, we wrestled in the backyard, and then one day I went over to my cousin's friend's house. They was on the trampoline, and I would say my cousins are basically adults, like 18 years old, and they're wrestling on the trampoline. And I'm just looking, and it kind of like sparked an idea in my head because like maybe we could organize this and actually do proper training. We might could start something big, and especially in my hometown of Clinton, South Carolina. We don't have a lot going on there. And so, and if wrestling did come around, some local promotions coming around doing a show and they're up and gone. So that idea came from seeing my cousins and their friends in the backyard on a trampoline wrestling. And I was like, maybe we could organize this, put some structure into it, train up a bit, and we might could do something with it. And ever since then, and I jumped into it too. And ever since then, we that's how basically CMW was born from the backyard. And so originally CMW was named Clinton Mill Wrestling because my hometown is Clinton, South Carolina. And so it came birth from there. So it started in the backyard.
Wow, wow. So, with that being said, and you starting the promotion, what was one of the first things you did to make the promotion become reality?
To be honest with you, I was throwing stuff at the wall. I was throwing stuff at the wall. I was thinking like, hey, we can do this, we can do that. Like I said before, I'm taking something that we're doing on the trampoline in the yard and try to make some structure out of it. And so, and then went from that, we built like homemade rings. Like we had like pallets, mattresses, all that stuff. We actually made a legitimate ring out of wood pallets that you get from a plant. Got some wooden posts from the lumber yard. Got some ropes and a whole bunch of other stuff, and we made a homemade ring. And we actually put on a show. How we got?
Wow.
Did we get ridiculed for it? Oh yeah, the people in the wrestling world and the independents who've seen it, and this is like early. I ain't gonna say early YouTube, but YouTube was around. YouTube was around, and but people was just starting getting more into it. So, but yeah, we just kind of just started something, we just started it, try to make it work, and did we have some failures with it? Definitely yes. Did we get some traction? We got some, but of course, with anything, it's trial and error. So, but I never expected from when it came from where it was to where it is now. Never expected it.
So, with all that, you and your family were doing this by yourselves, correct?
Yes, it originally started with me and one of my best friends. We just got some guys around the neighborhood, some family, some friends, and it's like, hey, let's start a wrestling thing because we liked it wrestling, and we really wanted to make something. You know, we just looked at it as fun. So a lot of it is fun stuff to do, but I really wanted to take it seriously. I want to take it to like we can really make money. We can actually put on shows. We actually can bring people together. My vision of it was so massive because I saw the bigger picture in it, you know. So, but everybody else, you know, who was a part of it in the beginning, you know, they saw it as fun, something cool to do, but I saw more with it. So, but yeah, but that was like the early stages of the early stages.
So how long did it take for you all to get a legitimate ring?
Oh, probably about around 2020. This is around the kind when COVID started to kind of around the COVID started to slow down. Um, because we took a hiatus for a period of time. Because from I could give you a little timeline. 2010 when we started, it didn't go nowhere. We tried a little bit in 2011, tried a little bit in 2012, nothing happened. 2013, nothing happened. 2014 was really the when the momentum got started. Cause we picked it up again. We start recording it because this is another part of the funny story. I used to talk to my old coworkers at my one of my old jobs. We was talking about it and was like, "Hey, we did some wrestling, kind of a little bit wrestling at a point in time." I said, "Yeah, you did. You got any videos?" Like, no, we never had no videos. Cause at the time, I couldn't afford no digital camera, and then you had a phone with a camcorder on there. You got some money. You got a camera on there. You got some money. So I'm like, nah, like yeah, we never recorded or anything like that. And so I'm like, yeah, you need to record it. So I actually recorded it, and that match is actually on YouTube right now on the CMW channel right now. That was the first ever video we recorded, and this is nothing but bare ground doing half moves with me and another wrestler named we call him the Enforcer. We did a little something, something, and next thing you know, everybody was just entertained by it. And so we started doing more videos and more videos, and until we actually got to 2015, and that's when we built our own ring in 2015. And so, and that's when we started doing what we call tapings of a show called Beatdown. And that first episode of Beatdown is actually on the CMW channel on YouTube as well, so people actually can watch it. But we started from there, but filming those little exhibition matches and then actually start putting on a whole show in 2015, from 2014 to 2015 up to 2016. That's when the traction really got going, and then it came to a complete halt in 2016 because things wasn't moving as it should. People I had associated with trying to get things going business wise didn't work out. So I just stopped and so I'm like, okay, I need to focus on other things and then come back to it when it's time. So that's when that time period was really the start from 2010 to 2016. Well, from 2017 to 2019, that was the time we didn't do anything. And then 2019 we just kind of start replanning, restructuring, how we could go about it different. How can we make CMW different than before? How we not make it like backyard anymore? How can we get better talent? So on, so on. So I start reaching out to people, getting sources that I need. And then around 2020, we came back with CMW, but then CMW was not just called CMW, it was called CMW Evolution. Because I wanted to put the evolution to the name because we evolved from where we were to at that point where we are now, at that point then. So from 2020 to now, CMW, well,
Okay, okay.
but
So,
really the
go ahead.
growth, the true growth of CMW happened in 2020.
Okay. So, what happened in 2020 that gave y'all that power to keep going and get where you are today?
When I start talking about it again, similar to how I was talking about it in 2014, the same way I kind of talked about it to my old coworkers then, I was start talking about it to my coworkers at that time around in 2019, 2020. And I actually showed them old videos of what we did before from back then. And people got interested and they said, like, well, you need to keep going with this. Like, there's not many black promoters actually doing what you're doing. And you actually really got something. And I didn't really think too much about it. Then one day I didn't really start thinking about it. And all of a sudden a spark just popped up in my brain. It's like, maybe I need to get back into to this wrestling thing because this might be something big for not just for me. I might really could create opportunities for other people, especially who's trying to get on. Because again, especially around the area I live in, especially in South Carolina, as I know of, there's not many black wrestling promoters, and I might be the only one. I'm not trying to. I have to fact check it, but I think it's not many, or I'm really the only one. I'm not sure, but I do feel like that what I'm doing with my wrestling promotion is really is giving people opportunities and chances, especially the ones who don't get opportunities at other places and stuff. And I actually can create opportunities and not only just create opportunity, but really, especially me, want to be have my own business, be successful with this. And this feel like it's the route to do. And plus, I love wrestling. I love wrestling. I love the art of wrestling. I just love the brotherhood of wrestling. No matter who you are, sex, creed, religion, however, wrestling has a place that you can actually really can bring people together, no matter who, or what they are. And so that motivated me. And I wanted to also not just be in the business, I want to actually change the business because other promoters may know wrestling and especially the wrestling business can be very toxic. It can be very demanding. It can be very stressful. And I want to be one of the ones to actually change it. And one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite rappers of all time, Tupac Shakur. He said, I might can't change the world, but I could definitely make the spark so someone else can change it.
Look, that is an amazing quote, and it is it's big too that from 2010 that you kept starting and stopping, but you never gave up on your dream. And
Mhm.
sometimes you have to repackage, retool yourself before you can get out there the way you want. With that, tell us a little bit about the promotion itself, about the athletes you have.
Oh man, the athletes and the talent that I have. Oh man, I got a heck of a talent pool. I can say of talent, and they come from different places. They come from different places, like a lot from South Carolina, a lot from Georgia, North Carolina. Some came from Tennessee. We have a definitely a lot of talent came from different places, and a lot of it come from just the growth of CMW, just putting it out there, trying to collaborate, work with people, just the grind and people seeing it, especially with social media. Social media definitely helped put CMW out there as well, and just doing collaborations with other people, other promotions. Um, just networking a lot, that definitely helped me out, and a lot of people start searching CMW.
So with that, do y'all travel around to different cities, or do y'all stay in one general location?
We do travel, but the goal is to stay in one location. That's the goal, because there's some things right now with CMW is still, we're still growing in a lot of ways, and we're still trying to get established in that one place. But we're still looking for a home fully. But right now we do travel, we do go different places, and the traveler does help. It definitely make connections and build with people. But we are trying to establish a home base for CMW so we can run weekly if possible. Definitely trying to open up a training school, and that training school is not going to be like any wrestling training school. I actually want to have like a curriculum in that training school, like levels to not only just become a wrestler, but also learn the business. And I feel like that as people who go through the business, a lot of people kind of learn the business on their own without really fully being taught, or they're being taught the way that other people been taught. It's not wrong or right, but they're not. They just, or they may telling them like, "Hey, watch out for this, watch out for that," but not really showing them what to watch out for. That's the purpose of me eventually, whenever it gets to that point, when I have that wrestling school, I want to teach them fully everything, because I didn't get teach taught fully everything. I'm still learning now as we speak, because the one thing in wrestling, you never stop learning. The business is always evolving, it's always changing. It's like you always have to adapt. And but some things do remain the same. But once that opportunity come around of establishing that home base and actually opening up that school that I want to open up. And that's my way to give back to the community, to give back to the business, and actually with up and coming young talent that's coming through now, that actually have a place that actually can really fully learn and actually help them get to where they need to be without the real struggle, hustle, and bustle, but they be more prepared when they go on their own. Because they can say, well, I'm a wrestler. I could go this place, place, the third. I already have my license. I already have everything that I need. So they can't get bamboozled in the business. Because a lot of times in the business, especially to people who's trying to make it, they can get suckered into a lot of stuff. But we're just trying to create a space so they can be prepared and they can go where they need to go.
I definitely like hearing that. With the training aspect of it, do you uh, tell me more about your plans? Like, do you plan on having a few different trainers there, or
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely for sure. Definitely different trainers to train different aspects of in wrestling, and as a wrestler, um, might teach them, like have certain a certain trainer teach them the basics, or certain trainers to teach them if they didn't want to be a wrestler, if they want to be a promoter. We have somebody like maybe like myself, or someone that's been running a business that actually could teach them how to be a promoter. How if somebody wants to be a referee, they could teach them how to be a referee. Or somebody want to be a ring announcer, that we could teach them the art how to be a ring announcer, but it just be on a curricular level. And so when you like a college course, you got your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And once you get to that point, you go through all everything you need to go through. And and I know I'm kind of rambling kind of all over the place, but it's gonna be a structured system. And so when you get to that top level, it's like, okay, you about to graduate, like for a wrestler, you learn everything you need to learn. We're gonna put you in a match. If you can run that match flawlessly, You graduated, we could give you your wrestling license for like for South Carolina, get your South Carolina wrestling license. We could tell you the places where to go. Yes, you be part of the CMW roster, but you still could go wherever you want to go because CMW did create the opportunity for you. So, but yeah, so we're going to have definitely different trainers to train them in different aspects and not only just teaching them the in ring stuff, not only just the psychology, but also teach the business itself so talent can really truly navigate to get through the business and so they won't go through what the people in the past had to go through.
That's a very different way of thinking of training. I really myself I love hearing that because I've never heard of anybody training people how they can have their own. We both know that wrestling can be a real just to be PG about it, a real dirty place. You have so
It's
many people.
very dirty, and a lot of gatekeeping, a
Yeah,
lot.
yes.
And that's why like my mission, like I say, my mission is to change things. So not only because a lot of people, especially a lot of the older promoters or older talent, they was taught an old way and it worked for them. This is definitely a generation now. A lot of times the old way don't really work because now it's withholding people back. It's holding people back, and then it also get people scared to actually go forward because now they put self doubt in themselves. It's almost like you tell them to work hard to do this, but at the same time too, you're also putting them down. Don't get me wrong. Tough talk is tough talk, and you need tough talk. But at the same time too, if you're gonna talk it, teach it, show them, be patient. Everybody might not get it the first go round. Everybody say, "Oh, they don't get the first go round, or they're taking too long." That's like, no, they ain't got it. Trust me, there's some talent who took them a long time. Once they got it, they excelled. So it just also too having that patience as well, and that's another reason why whenever this wrestling school does come about, whenever that time comes, when I have it, me and others will be able to teach.
So and again, I love your premise and your thought process behind everything, and it makes me think of something I actually kind of try to live by myself. Is I've heard it when I was a youngster watching wrestling, but give make the business better than you found it.
Hmm.
And man, you it sounds like you are really trying to be ahead of the curve and give people real opportunity, not only just to become wrestlers but to be owners themselves, or
Hmm.
if you want to be a commentator or a referee, you giving a lot of different aspects to the business that I hadn't heard too many people do.
Hmm. Yeah, because people could tell them where to go, but how they going to get there? And then if you do find training schools who actually does doing what I said, so I say I'm going to do, they charging so much of an arm and a leg that people can't afford it. So and then and I've seen a lot of people who go to these places to train. They teach them the bare minimum, and then they put them out there, and then they call themselves we're wrestlers. I was like, no, you're not, because I've got thrown out there like that too, and I had to learn as I go along. And I tell myself, I might not be the greatest promoter or the best wrestler. I know I'm not by a long shot. I know there's plethora of wrestlers better than me, but I know something that I have. I have heart, I have knowledge, and I can work how I can work and do what I can do and make the best of it. And that's why I tell people today, it's like, long as you can stay consistent in what you do, and keep improving and get better and better and better, you always gonna win.
Yeah, I definitely love that philosophy. Um, with with let's move to booking. Do
Okay.
you do the booking all yourself, or do you have a committee that y'all run through different ideas? How do y'all work?
I say about 80% of the time I'm actually doing the booking. I did have some people who helped me book matches before. Some of them, stepped away. Others had other prior obligations. Um, some I kind of just got rid of because like things wasn't lining up, just to be quite frank. But 80% of the booking does come from me. So I basically run the promotion whole a lot of it by myself. A lot of it's by choice. Some I did let people in. Some just did. Some things didn't work out. Some just did. Some did work out, but some decide to step away because of other prior obligations. But 80% of the booking, it does go through me. So creative, everything. So, and like my wrestling name says, I'm a one man army. As a promoter, almost like a one man show. But I do, but I have had some help with booking. But I would have to say majority of the time I've mostly done it myself. But I do work hands on with the talent, so I always listen to their input. I kind of let the wrestlers have their creative freedom to an extent. I give them a basis, what I need. They work within it, and we make it work.
Okay, like that. Um, do you find yourself hitting those burnout stages because you're doing so much, plus you're a part of you the talent also? Do you find yourself days where you just want to crash out and take a moment to yourself?
Oh God, I had moments like that all the time. I have had moments like that. I had moments that when things wasn't moving like how I wanted to move, or I'm not seeing any progress the way I wanted to see it. I started to get discouraged. I start feeling not as confident. In a lot of ways, I feel like I just wanted to quit and give up.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go take a seat. Go take a seat. Later. Later. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Um.
But yeah, there been many times I have felt that burnout, a lot of the stress. Like been many times I wanted to give up, and but something keep making me go harder, keep pushing. And I feel like that, especially with me, with my promotion, I represent a lot of people, and I feel like that weight is on my shoulders, and I feel like everything is bigger than me now because I'm doing something that a lot of people don't do, especially me as a promoter, especially a black promoter at that, who don't even get looked at like that, because it's in a predominantly certain race business, and it's just keeping it 100. But so I do feel like I represent not only just myself, I do represent a lot of people, and so and what I'm trying to do is bigger than me. So I have to keep pushing, stay vigilant, keep grinding to not only just be the representative of not only just my community, but the representative of the people, and tell people that you can do whatever you want to do. Because if I give up, what example I am for others.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that a lot. Um, I think too. with us being black men, we feel like, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of times we're always okay. We have to represent not only for ourselves, not only for well, black people in general, but just because we get looked at a certain way,
Right. Cause we
and we
all
want to break
right.
that stigmatism.
Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like, oh man, it's like what we do. We do feel like we do carry the world on our shoulders. But I do say this though, and I had to learn this myself. You got to do it for self before you do it for anybody else. You got to do it for self before you do it for anybody else. 'Cause if you can't do it for self, you're no good to anybody else.
Amen. Amen. A lot of times, like a lot of times, I feel like giving up, and I get that thought: you're better than that. You're tougher than that. You're
Mhm.
doing this for a reason. And even when I have my lowest moments, I still think, man, this is too fun to let one or two or three little incidents stop me from
Mhm.
continuing to do the thing I love, and that's being any part of wrestling I can be in. And if I can help people, that's what I need to do. So
And
yeah,
one of the biggest things with me is patience. I know patience is not my strong suit. Patience is not my strong suit because once I see something, I see it, I feel it, I'm all in, you know. But also too, they come back to wanting instant gratification, but it doesn't work like that. And over time, especially being in this business, I had to learn patience because anything you want great to happen requires patience and work and time. And I used to be in this big thought, big belief of time don't waits on nobody. That's a true statement. Time don't wait on nobody, but it's also how you utilize that time.
you-
You got plenty of time to do it, just how you utilize it within it. So, but being in this business, not only being in this business, but learning from people, learning from situations, it'll make you sit down and make you really think like, what I'm doing wrong, how can I go about this better? And a lot of times you have to ask those questions. So now the stage in my life now, like I'm asking the questions like, what can I do better? Not only just for me, but what can I do better to make what I'm trying to do better? What can make it stand out? What can I do to change it up and not doing something the same as the last time? How can I make myself different from everybody else? So a lot of things over the time make you think that way. And also I'm glad it did.
I think it's similar to something that I have to remind myself. It's not in my time; it's in God's time, and
Exactly.
he, and God is always on time. So it's
All the time.
to just let you stop being human and let it go and do what He wants you to do.
Right. And a lot of times we got to remind ourselves that, especially if you're a believer, because I definitely am a believer. And a lot of times, we try to take control of what we want to do. And don't get me wrong, we are in control of our own destinies. But at the same time, too, though, but if you knowing there's a higher power and things are not moving as you want, a lot of times, some situations, especially God will make you sit down and be like, hey, we need to think about this, go about this better. And what is your purpose for? Are you trying to do it for this reason? Are you trying to do it for that reason? But if you're doing it without the sight with God, God, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I true believer in that. So, what areas do y'all go around and do wrestling in?
Right now is still South Carolina, Georgia, um, North Carolina, but we do a lot in South Carolina. Last year we did a lot in Georgia. Last year, especially in East Denali, Georgia, small little town in Georgia. Shout out to SWA Southern Wrestling Alliance down in East Denali for letting us use their place to put on shows there and doing collaborative work. So definitely shout out to them. I also want to shout out doing shout outs. I want to shout out to AWS, another promotion that we work with, the promoter Akbar Bashar. Definitely shout out for him because he definitely helped CMW out a lot himself. Letting them use their plays and perform in their town and things like that in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Now they're in North Carolina now. But shout out to Akbar Bashar of AWS. And also another shout out I want to give out to is Straight Up Wrestling Show podcast, another podcast. A dear friend of mine, Harry Bernard Taylor, and Christopher Burton. They help put CMW out there a lot too as well in the Indies in South Carolina. So shout out to them as well. I definitely want to give a shout out to them. But I just want to shout out everybody that have helped me and the company progress to where it is now. Because like I say, it's not just me, it's everyone who participated and partake in it. So I am humbled and I want to give my love and appreciation and shout outs to everyone that helped build CMW.
That's I'm glad you did that. Um, do you find it easy to work with other promotions to do collaborative things?
If they permit me, because trust and believe that a lot of promotions do not want CMW to exist.
Wow.
Because they actually want to see a lot of promotions and places want to see CMW die because of where it came from. Because CMW, like I said, I told you before earlier in the beginning of the podcast, CMW came from the backyard, and the way how it came about and how it started, um, nobody didn't like it. It didn't go through the traditional way because a lot of it because I didn't have access to what other promoters had. I started this stuff from mattresses and pallets up to where we are now. So, and a lot of people thought CMW going to fail, CMW going to fail and die and burn out or whatever. I said, oh, you can't keep this up for long. But now it's 2026 and we're still going strong. So, and like I tell it to anybody, it don't matter what you have, what you got, what you do, as long as you stay consistent and stay working, you don't get where you need to be. It might not be instant, but if you believe in the product and you believe in what you do, it don't matter what anybody else say. So, but yeah, I caught a lot of scrutiny from other places because of where CMW came from. But I know I've done a lot. I know CMW, not only just myself, but CMW have done a lot more than a lot of other promotions have ever done either. So that's all I can say about that.
So, final question. Where do you see CMW in the next 5 years?
I see CMW as not only just a national promotion, but hopefully a global promotion. Because we're trying to spread our wings out to different places, especially doing a lot of collaborative work with the Alliance Pro Wrestling, Tap Wrestling. It's a collaborative place where a lot of promotions come together and we're actually making a strand of networking. So promotions like mine that actually could go out to different places, perform at different places. So hopefully over time, not only be national, but go globally because we actually are doing some collaboration stuff later on this year with a promotion in Canada called Blaze Pro Wrestling. We were even going to do some work, and we're under some discussion right now with Blaze Pro Wrestling in Winnipeg, Canada. That's where Chris Jericho's from, if anybody didn't know. But and then hopefully we'll be going to Ecuador as well Doing some collaborative work with some promotions down in Ecuador as well. So hopefully within this year and further beyond, we be more than national, we'll be global too.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love hearing collaboration because there's a lot of promotions like you said earlier do not will not work with any other promotion. They are just they they're just self they want to be by themselves. If they see no value in you, they have no desire to work with you.
Or they'll work together if they have similar thoughts and interests. 'Cause I have seen promotions work together for other reasons, and a lot of just to keep everything within themselves, but not open up opportunities for everyone else. So I've seen that too. So it's more so what their intent is. It's more so intent.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you once again for coming on my show. Um, I'm a true believer in giving people flowers because a lot of people get recognition and they're just due after they're gone and they can't enjoy it. I really
Hmm.
try to make sure that people, when I give flowers, that they understand why, how serious I am about doing that, and to let people know you are doing a great job for not only for your fans, but for my fans, for me, for wrestling in general. And that's such a big thing that we need to keep the culture going and keep it strong and mix things up. So thank you so much for everything you're doing. Thank you for continuing to work hard and having CMW keep going, and hopefully in the near future you can make CMW what you really want it to be.
Yes, I definitely appreciate that, and thank you again for let allowing me to come on your platform and tell you not only just my story of CMW, but also just everything that's going on with it. 'Cause if people hear this and they see this, I hope what I tell say and what people hear give them motivation and inspiration to do what they want to do. It could be wrestling or anything outside of wrestling. You're in control of what you want to do. You can do what you want to do. It's up to you what you want to do with it. And by the way, I do want to promote my upcoming show, March 28th, 2026. Anybody that's in the Abbeville, South Carolina area, come to see the show CMW Next Level, The Ultimate Showdown. Come out to the show. If you're in that area, it's gonna be a hell of a show.
Man, it sounds like it's going to be. And again, I really thank you for being here. And you have an open invitation anytime you would like to come back. Feel free and
I
to
would
reach
love
out
to.
to, and we can make it happen.
I would love to. And thank you so much for letting me be on your platform.
Oh, no problem whatsoever. Guys, girls, thank you for once again joining me around the campfire to hear another amazing story. Again, there are so many different stories and way people become promoters, how they get into the wrestling business. And I think it's so interesting to learn and to not only learn, but help you understand the business just a little bit more. It's not as easy as we think. It looks glamorous, but we don't recognize the hard, long hours that these guys and girls put in to give us something to enjoy and forget about our troubles for a little while. So, with that being said, as I always love to do, please, 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 I can't I can't express how serious I am. Go and promote your local indie wrestling company. I mean, you are missing out on some great talent, putting in work, and you just never know who you will see. And on their journey up, one day they could be a world heavyweight champion in a major promotion. You never know. But with that being said, you once again, I'm Professor Burr. This has been a Burr's Thoughts, and we will see you around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all take care.